You're hearing about separatist murmurings and leanings from Alberta. I think it's really important to point out the vast majority of Albertans are not interested in separation. What about 30% say that they could go? 30% is a lot of people, folks.
Alberta cannot separate from fucking Canada, okay? What charter would Alberta use if Alberta separated from Canada? And it doesn't, what, you have to have your own charter to be able to declare independence. You don't even have your own charter. So that means you have no mode of declaring independence. That's the difference. Quebec has its own charter. Quebec is a bi-legal system. It goes by the fucking civil code. It does not go by the fucking French, it does not go by the Canadian charter. And not even that. Quebec created its own constitution in 1976. 6 years before the Canada Constitution Act. Quebec has its own constitution. It's its sovereign state within a nation. Alberta is not any of that.
Our CBC Vancouver studio. So getting a little bit of lesser.
There would be no legislative function of the way that Alberta would be able to gain independence. They don't even have they don't have their own charter. They don't have their own legal system. They're part of Canada. They don't exist outside of Canada. They never existed outside Canada. Quebec is completely different, you fucking idiots.
In some ways, muted by this current moment where people are calling for an element of unity, and we heard it in the news tonight, or was it last night? It is hard to keep track, but
it's still today.
Today's
tomorrow.
It's always today somewhere.
Yes.
And tomorrow it seems like will never come at this rate. But we, at the same time, have a real sense that for part of the country isn't for.
No, I actually don't, I don't think that's going to happen, because I think Carney's going to be willing to give Quebec what it wants, because Quebec has the whole balance of power, and the Bloc is never going to side with the Conservatives, you know?
Among younger voters, and that is.
What changes immensely is when the Quebec election next year, and the Parti Québécois becomes in power, so that a provincial party that is in direct alignment with the Bloc Québécois. And then that's going to make it so that if another election were to happen, say in 2027, then the rest of Quebec would be further left, you know? So there would be less Quebec voting Liberals and more voting Bloc. That's all that will happen. The next election we'll see that the big chunk of the Liberals going back to the Bloc, and the Bloc will get, the Bloc will regain, because of a wave of Quebec nationalism after the Parti Québécois takes power, which is going to happen next election.
Our water, our country.
Never.
These are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen. But we also must recognize.
Shit, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm right. I mean, you're right.
For me.
It's funny because Alberta is a fucking province of China, pretty much, as far as their material, their fucking oil and gas, which is the only reason why they haven't been able to do more resource extraction, is because China owns a vast majority of it, and they're just like, no, don't. Stop doing that.
Always do my best.
Which is hurting their economy, but it's forcing them to have to invest in renewables.
You know, during this short campaign,